You know, every once in a while, a novel comes along that's more than just a book. It becomes a whole event. Today, we're unpacking Buckeye, a story that pretty much became a modern classic right out of the gate. So, what's the big secret behind this tale of two families in a small Ohio town? Well, let's find out.
And right away, you can see just how huge this book became. I mean, it's not just a New York Times bestseller. It was also picked for the Read with Jenna book club. Now, that combination, that tells you you've got a story with massive appeal, but also one with a really powerful, character-driven heart.
And the praise from the literary world? Just as impressive. And Patchett, who is one of the most respected novelists out there, calls it a glorious sweep of a novel. That one word, sweep, it just promises this epic, totally immersive experience.
Then you get this from Ann Napolitano. I love this book with my entire heart. See, that's not just a critic admiring a book. That is a deeply personal, emotional reaction. It shows you the kind of powerful connection people are making with this story.
And Jenna Bush Hager takes it even further, calling it a once-in-a-decade novel. But notice what she points to specifically. I fell in love with these characters. This is so key, and we see it over and over. The people in this book just feel completely, undeniably real. So yeah, this wasn't just a few high-profile shoutouts. The consensus was, frankly, overwhelming. We're talking outlets from the New York Times to the Washington Post, NPR. They all named it one of the best books of the year. So, with the stage set like that, let's dive into the story itself.
Okay, so our story kicks off in a little town with a great name, Bonhomie, Ohio. But as we find out right away, underneath that friendly surface, there's a big secret just waiting to come out.
The whole novel is built on this classic, super powerful foundation. You've got one town, two families, and one single secret that could unravel their entire world. It's a really intimate story, but the stakes could not be higher.
And this isn't a story that just takes place over a weekend or something. No, this is a real epic. It spans from the end of World War II all the way through those huge post-war decades. It really lets us see how one single moment can just echo through generations.
So at the very center of this whole multi-generational saga are two families whose lives become completely and permanently intertwined, the Jenkinses and the Salts.
All right, let's meet the main players. On one side, you have Cal Jenkins, a guy who's wrestling with the fact that he couldn't serve in the war. And his wife, Becky, is a seer. She can literally speak with the dead. Then, on the other side, there's Margaret Salt, who is desperately trying to hide her past, while her husband, Felix, is away at sea. I mean, the stage is just perfectly set for all kinds of tension and secrets, right?
So, how do these two families with their own really complicated lives get so tangled up? Well, it all comes down to one single moment. A moment that sends a ripple straight through time.
Here it is. The catalyst for this entire epic story is a stolen moment of passion between Cal Jenkins and Margaret Salt, and it happens right as the war in Europe is ending, a time of total chaos and super intense emotions. This one encounter, this becomes the secret that will define their families for decades to come. And this just sets up the novel's central tension perfectly. In a small town like Bonhomie, where everybody knows everybody else's business, how long can a secret that big actually stay buried? The story just masterfully builds the suspense around when, not if, it's all going to come out. But the impact doesn't just stop with Cal and Margaret, oh no. The story follows the consequences as they just cascade down to their children. It forces this next generation to deal with a past they didn't even know existed, and it makes them question who they even are. Now, an incredible plot is one thing, but what really takes this novel to another level is how it explores these deep, universal themes. This is why it connects with so many readers. It's about so much more than just one secret in one small town. The book's emotional core is really built on these powerful ideas. It's a story about that basic human desire for love and that search for goodness, even when we make terrible mistakes. It's all about how the past shapes us, but also about how we can fight to define our own futures.
This quote just captures the book's unique balance perfectly. It somehow manages to be both sweeping in its big historical scope and at the same time incredibly intimate in how it focuses on the characters' inner lives. It just shows a real profound understanding of the human spirit.
Ultimately, the novel leaves us with this really compelling question, one that makes you look at family and legacy in a whole new way. How much of our identity is really our own, and how much of it is just inherited from the hidden lives of our parents?
It's just a beautifully told story that has absolutely earned its place as a modern classic. If you're ready to dive into the world of Bonhomie and uncover all its secrets for yourself, we've made it super easy for you. The link to this book is in the video description.